Good evening, folks. So here's me sitting out in the yard. Oh, it's been a rainy spring day. On my little phone here, I've been controlling all my gear up there inside that window over Wi-Fi. So Henning, Paulie, what's his name? Leon, Todd, Kai, Down, a whole bunch of guys have been doing videos of late on the little Stomp Station Pro, the new gizmo that has come out from three guys up here 2 hours to the north of me in Italy. Thing made by these little geniuses. This thing is wild. So I started up a group on Facebook to help users with it, and we're digging through and looking at it, and it's pretty awesome because the connectivity to this thing is wild. It plays 2 NAM profiles, any 2. That could be anything you want. So you could be loading a drive at an amp. You could be loading, eventually, 2 complete drive amp cabs. You've got your own 2 IRs in stereo. The thing is wild, but really what gasses me is the connectivity of this thing. As I said, I'm out here in my garden, and I can go from here, download stuff off Tone 3000, full NAM captures, shoot it upstairs, program the thing whilst I'm enjoying, getting some sun or getting some exercise, or chilling out in the garden, no problem. Here's the thing. This is the first unit that I know of where you can have multiple instances of editors. Today I had 3 different systems going. iPad connected into it, my MacBook computer, a really old one, connected to a great big 24-inch touchscreen. I recorded earlier 2 little remotes that I had set up with this signal chain design, customized, easy stuff to do. So you can control all this stuff by touch. Even the big screen was touch. You've got to check this thing out. So you'll see it, but I would urge you to think big about these things. Like, think large scale. You've got a thing the size of my arm that weighs nothing, that can be powered by USB for hours and hours and hours off a battery pack, 9-volt, whatever you want. The 2 exits are already balanced, so you could go straight to a mixer if you want. You can control everything. You could go to amps. You can automate what you're doing with this thing. The possibilities of it are endless, and it's that big. Truly incredible. The effects are truly incredible. But I will end this here, pass you off to those videos, and check out the power of controlling this thing remotely from anywhere in the house. You can put a password on this thing and leave it online if you wanted. Imagine, think big. Imagine if you were renting these things out as backline. You could stick a slew of these things on a shelf, in your sound service. Connected to the internet, all without wires, completely over Wi-Fi. Give your client a password. They can log in. They can load up all of their stuff. They can have one at home. Bring it with them if they want. It'll fit in your bag, or you can travel with it. Easy. You could go on tour with this thing and have it there. You could integrate this into a regular old analog rig. You could stick this on top of a Helix and have all of your amps from home, plus all of the modeling. Perfect backup rig. It's wild, Check out Leon Todd's thing. The video he did recently was really good. There's going to be a link in the description of this to the Facebook user group where you can see just regular guys from all over the place, mostly here in Europe, who are jamming with this thing. I mean, it's pretty damn cool. It's only been out a couple of months. The guys are pumping out extra firmware updates all the time. You can update the damn thing off an iPad wirelessly. No need for a computer if you don't want. You can go through your computer, you can use your phone, whatever you want. I haven't tried it on Android or on Windows, but apparently you can do all that. I'm off that now. I'm back onto the Apple world. It's really amazing what this thing can do. And, you know, full now. The new ones, all of the intricate little ones that I have no real understanding of, all of the super nerdy stuff, for what is supposed to be the highest fidelity capturing platform there is. This has 2 of them, and what does it cost? A little less than an inch stomp. Pretty wild. Combine it with an inch stomp, combine it with your real pedals, just do your thing, you know? But wild. Really wild. Come check out the Facebook group. Check out the stuff we're doing. I'm building big, massive foot controllers that are all wireless, all battery powered. Just think about it. Rock up, connect to a mixer if you want. I do all my stuff through headphones or through desktop amps with line out, so that could be your monitor. It's, for me, seriously lighten the road. My back is not what it used to be, and this thing is, chuck it in your guitar bag, done. Freaking amazing, freaking amazing. So the boys, what's his name? Oh, I don't know. Those 3 guys are going to Bologna to the guitar show. Wishing the best of luck. They're kicking it. When they get back, we are supposed to do more work on the Midi stuff, because sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, if they can pull off the stuff that I'm asking for, damn. Really impressive. Anyway, enjoy the clips. One's a close-up with all the remotes working. Contemporary, 3 at once, plus 2 MIDI controllers at once, all wireless. The other one's a wide shot with ways you can look at it. And, you know, this stuff that they got to work on. But the basis is all there. I'm talking like minor little fixes here and there. Maybe, you know, change an icon here or there, or who knows what we'll think up by next week or next month or whatever. But these guys are cranking on this thing. 2 thumbs up. Check this out. This battery's going to die in a second. Hook this thing up so you can run the tuner. You can turn stuff on and off. Now, that's on the wee little iPhone. Connects to the iPad. Connects to the bridge, which is driving MIDI. So that's all Wi-Fi. And this thing, you can see what's going on. So look. This is Yawkins chain, which I did a video earlier. So that is a little dumb remote. It's not interactive, but you can go through and hit this like the mod. Turn it off, compression, drive, whatever. There you can't see it all. Here, even on the tuner, you'll see it launches the tuner, and that will work. But over there on the MacBook, this is a really old one, that thing will show the whole chain if it's fully extended. And you can see here, I can just take this thing in hand, bugger off, go downstairs. I have in-ears on wireless. That is controlling the entire chain. So unfortunately, my battery is about to die. So I'm going to drop this, but I really wanted to have a look at this because you can tell here with the way the windowing works. If you expand this out, the application and settings panel there opens up. Come on, thing, focus. You always have this tiny little thing in the middle. If you're on an iPhone, it shrinks down to something like that, and you've only got 3 blocks. I would imagine it's the same for Android or same for Windows. So really, what I wanted to bring attention to is, at a certain point, that comes up. If you're grabbing here from the right-hand side, that shrinks down and you can fit 6 or 7 blocks. And it's sort of the same thing on a normal 13-inch screen. You're never going to get the real estate to open it. If you put it on a big screen, like a 24, like that thing, come on, focus thing, then it works, which is really cool. And what's even cooler here is you can just touch these things. That's kind of rare, something like that working on a Mac, because Macs have always been not compatible with touchscreens. I did find this guy in England who built drivers for these Dell 24s, and with that you can be walking around playing away and just drag and touch. So in a studio setting, that is freaking cool. And the fact that you have one computer, and that computer, all of them are currently talking to that over Wi-Fi. These are communicating via Bluetooth to there, USB. That's talking to pretty well much. I can just take this thing and go bugger off over here. There's the studio, there's the remote control, there's the whole thing over there, and there it is working. So that, because it's on Wi-Fi, can stay in range, and you can go outside, sit in the garden, do all that stuff, have all this stuff working up here. You can leave your entire pedal board up here if you're doing big work. If you've got your Helix floor or whatever hooked into that, you can just go off wherever you want and work in peace. Not today because it's pouring outside, but I had about 2% more of battery before that dies. So OnSong 2020, and this program is called what? AUM, doing the Midi routing, advertising that as a central, and that's a peripheral. Still got to program those up. And if anybody wants to know where this thing is, just let me know, and I will do it. But you can see there, it's sort of the same thing. When you start shrinking down those windows, it completely changes the view. And what you would normally have on a regular laptop, you probably wouldn't see it like that. So very cool. But really, that's what I've been trying to get around. And Joachen's idea of coming up with a view that splits into 2 folding rows like that, that's freaking wicked. All credit to him for making up that design. Coming up with icons and stuff like that that anybody can read, because colorblind people might have problems with distinguishing green, blues. They come out different, but actual icons, way better. Credit to my boy Bimson, who had a nice chat with me about difficulties of being colorblind. So those are some rough ideas. Me as a... All right, happy Sunday, folks. So just wanted to do a quick thing about some of this work I've been doing. So big wide angle here. What I've got up on screen here, connected to an Apple Mac, is the Void X control, and I wanted to do a video about some things that I always found it a bit weird about it. Now, on a huge screen like this, I can just about fit everything here on screen, which is cool. But not everybody's going to have a big screen like that. And for the most part, when these things open up, it's not exactly going to work. Now, this is a touch screen, so I can just whack away at this thing, which is pretty cool. But I was thinking of a few things that might be really cool to enhance this. If I was running this here on an iPad, this thing comes up way smaller. Ugh, what have I done? Hang on 1 second. No. Void X control. Okie dokie. Normally this thing comes up like this on an iPad, a bit smaller. And it starts shrinking, as you can see there. Now, depending where you move, if you go down to the other corner, that comes up and you end up getting about 6 is the most. 6 blocks is about the most you can get. That's about the best I've been able to get this here on an iPad. That always means, you see this if you're working on like an iPhone or something like that, or a regular Android phone, you've got 2 rows to get through. You're always zipping back and forth like that. I mean, that's not bad. But over the last week or so, we've been talking about this. This guy, Jochen Schmidt, I believe from Germany, came up with this wicked idea of just folding the entire chain as a half. And I was thinking it would be so cool to add this here to the different application settings and stuff like that. Just a double view like that. So I ended up putting this thing on OnSong. And as you can see here, she's working, which is pretty cool because then I can just take this thing wirelessly, go off somewhere else, chat on the couch or whatever, and this big screen, you can put that onto a TV if you wanted. Works really well. In my chat, you can hear noise gate coming up there. This thing is just dumb. It really doesn't update or know anything. It's just a graphic with Midi laid over the top of it. But you can quickly do stuff like that. Turn off the scale. And here's what I'm talking about. The zipping back and forth stuff. Reverb. Sometimes you have to double click it because it doesn't know if it's on or off. But it seemed extremely useful. So I was thinking that would make a really nice addition to the app. A folded display like that was interactive, that also has diagrams like this, like Jochen did. You'll see that in the Facebook group. Stuff like this for people who are suffering from some sort of color blindness. Usually they can adapt. But like you have there, it's wicked. Graphically, like this, it's way simpler. So we'll see what people think about that idea. The other stuff that's missing, I'm going to make a list of this, but the EQ, this one still doesn't have a MIDI CC, so a toggle to open that would be great. The mods, with the tremolo down here, there is ACC, but the way this thing is currently working, the other mod over here, which also has tremolo, there's no independent CCs to control that, so it would be a great idea to get that working, so that you could see both. Now finally, in terms of the blocks that we have up here, something that would be actually really cool, in the settings where you have your input, and you see I have to go through here and search this stuff out, there's the pickup simulator. This thing is awesome. Makes a huge difference. You can click on there and zing through, but what I was thinking is this. Instead of having that as a global setting, that could be another block put here at the input, where you have control immediately with Midi over this stuff. That could come up on the on-screen display, and you can spin through that without actually having to be stuck on a computer or on a tablet. It's way faster, like that. As you can see here, it really does change a lot of your stuff. So if you were traveling with this thing, you know, the Stomp Station is really ideal for travel. This is a really cool idea, this pickup simulator. Kudos to whoever came up with that one. It sounds like something Robbie Rocks would be doing. To make the most out of that thing, I think it would be ideal to make another block and have that included on a preset by preset basis instead of being global, or leave it as global, but also include it as something in the signal chain that you could access, and have CCs for this so that you could scroll through, you know, change your stuff here to whatever you wanted. Change your coils, both on the unit and the on-screen thing. Instead of going up and down and back and forth like this, make this something easily accessible. What was the other thing I wanted to show? If you're here at home, this is really awesome. This thing, the VoidX control. So it was really kind of just a thing to say, try this out on different screen sizes. If you're making videos and stuff for this, for all the guys in the group who are, all the Carmine and the others, doing this in dark mode is way easier on the eyes. There have been some really cool videos done, but some people are doing that in day mode and it's impossible to see anything. Like this, pretty cool. So, let me turn off the tuner. Again, this little remote, when it's working, cool. See what I mean? This tip-tap stuff, if I can be across the room doing this sort of stuff, I think in a studio situation, which is where the Sonulab is ideal, up on your desk where you have instant access to the encoders and stuff like that, these are some of the mods that I would like to see done to the VoidX app. Especially, you know, this would come in really handy for this sort of thing. I've checked this out on an iPhone and that is way more handy. If that can be done at some point, you know, it's not something that needs to be done immediately. But in terms of taking this thing to the next level, that would be damn cool. So anyway. There we go. Loads of stuff at work. This is currently how I'm using it with all the quick access. Really cool. These encoders are really cool. Having one of these thingies here. These are little iPad holders, iPhone holders that you can get online. Fold down to nothing. That one, I've just Velcroed the thing up, and when I'm working on a board, I just stick the Dario Exceed board here. That's sitting in the background. Quick and easy access to everything. So, see what you think. Happy Sunday. Lots of programming to do. To make that work, I'm just going USB, powering up this little bridge 4, and that's converting USB in to TRS out, TRS in, so completely cabled setup where the iPad is controlling over Midi the Sonulab. The Sonulab is going out to the boss, and it's set up as a dual stereo rig. So that's what the boss is doing. Wireless signal into here and into there in parallel. And this is really handy for just quick adjustments. There's the delays, as you can see. That turns stuff on and off, multiple access stuff. Parallel lines. Just some food for thought. Sorry this is a little shaky. I've really got to get some kind of a tripod for this thing to make better videos, but some ideas. So I'm trying to type all of this stuff up. Good luck to Luca and the crew in Bologna next weekend. Hope everybody's well. Check it.